big fan of Talon grips and have been ever since I saw them on the Hickok 45 channel. He uses them as well. I love that rubber granulate that they use, but there's also the skateboard tape if you like something a little more aggressive. But this seems to be just an excellent feel, and it doesn't add much bulk to the grip. It's so thin. But they've come out with their new moss pattern, which is more of an FDE, especially for all the FDE frames, or if you just want to put it on a black frame to give it a color contrast. But I thought the best candidate in the world would be one of these XDS 45 ACPs. It's a handful, and the recoil is not too bad, but putting on these Talon grips made it really sweet at the range. I've been a big fan of Talon grips for a good while now. One of the things I really love is that rubberized feel to it, and yet it doesn't add a whole lot of width to the grip. Just like with this Glock 43, you know, it's a small pistol, you want to keep it that way. And the rubberized, or you can get kind of more of the skateboard tape feel to it. It just makes this really comfortable, especially for the smaller pistols, but even for your larger pistols. Because of the rise of popularity with the FDE color frames, Talon grips introduced their moss color. This is really close to the FDE, and we're going to put it on this XDS in 45 ACP. It's a really thin, small, compact handgun, and it's very controllable, but adding that little bit of cushion is going to make it even just that much better. Now, because you have two different backstrap sizes, this is the large on here and you have the small, you have to order the correct size for your grip. This comes in a small and large. Now, all the Talon grip models that they make for different pistols, you can go to talongungrips.com and check them out, and of course they do offer the moss color. What we're going to do is apply these. It's a real simple process. I've done it a few times. It was kind of rainy today. We've got a big storm coming through, and I thought it'd be a great day to put these on. It does also come with an alcohol prep pad, and you'll need to make sure that you clean the grip itself just to give it more stickability. And then of course we're going to make sure the gun isn't loaded. We have our magazine out and the gun is empty. Now, to make the application easy, go ahead and put in the slide. I'm going to take the slide off, and that way we've got just the grip. Go ahead and pull out your alcohol wipe. All the areas that the grip is going to touch, you want to make sure you clean. And again, this just takes out those oils that are on your hands and gives it a lot better adherence with the grip. Now we're going to let it dry. Heat activates the adhesive in the grip. So we're going to take a standard hair dryer, going to heat this grip up really nice, and then we're going to apply the grip. Okay, we've gone about 3 minutes. You could probably go a little less. We're going to go ahead and take our grip and pull it off. Now, typically there's a grip, there's some kind of logo on the grip, and they make room for that, and that helps to align it. You know, if you're locked in around that grip consistently, it's not that difficult to do. You just want to make sure you kind of get everything lined up, and of course on the other side here with the logo too. If your logos are lined up, you know you're doing pretty good. Once you kind of get everything lined up, you can start kind of pushing down, making sure you don't have any air bubbles, things like that. It's actually going to meet together. Make sure you're fitting in the right spots. Just put pressure all along the grip. Now we're going to heat this up again. And this is going to allow even for more adherence to the frame. Now, paying close attention to the edges and then working your way also into the areas that have texturing, because it's going to adhere to that. Right here at this seam between the two, making sure they meet. Because the texturing is so deep on the XD, just taking my fingernails and pushing down into those crevices. The more surface you're getting, the better the it's going to adhere. But I'll tell you guys, I've been using these for a number of years now, and they just stick very well. If you ever have any problems, you can heat it up and you know, reapply the heat, and it reactivates the adhesive. Okay, it's looking good. We're going to go ahead and heat her up again. Alright, we've got our second heat, and you can see how it's really starting to adhere. No reason to rush it because these things last a long time, so it's worth taking a little bit of extra time to make sure you get it right. The great thing is about these Talon grips, they run about $17.99, I believe. I think the Moss runs a little bit more on the Talon grip website. First place I bought Talon grips actually was on eBay, but I've been getting them now directly from Talon grip. It's just a really cool addition to your firearm that doesn't add a lot of bulk, and yet gives you a lot of advantage because of just that feel. It makes it softer for the recoil, but also it gives you better gripability. In rainy, wet conditions, have a better grip. Like they say, get a grip. I was a little concerned about this edge right here, but it is forming together very nicely. You want to just give it some special attention to make sure that your grips are meeting, but on the older grips they overlapped and there was like a ridge right here, so this makes it kind of nice to have that seamless feel to it. Okay, we're close. We're going to try it one more time, finish it out. Alright, I think we're in good shape. Everything looks good. Still nice and warm. You don't want to get it too hot, especially if you're using like a heat gun. You don't want to warp your frame. But with this heat gun, it's not going to, or with the hair dryer. But sure does give it a nice look. I'm really excited about getting that to the range. We're going to shoot some of this 230 grain Pro Match from Freedom Munitions. It's an XAP round. And it's pretty potent, so should do well to test this grip out. Unfortunately, I came down here and only brought one magazine. And I want to thank Freedom Munitions for sponsoring the ammo. You get a 5% discount using Suit00 at checkout, and that's always a good thing. The XDS for a 45 ACP is super thin. I mean, it is just micro thin. And the grips really help. And really, this belies the caliber, the way that this gun is designed. But if you're adding these Talon grips to it, it just really molds to the hand. You feel like you've really got a hold of it. Even though the texturing on the original grip is pretty aggressive, this makes it so much more comfortable. And not only that, when you're wearing it, you know, as a CWP or CCW, whatever your state calls it, it just really brings, you can grab hold of it. It has that warmer feel to it than just the cold polymer. So I really like these Talon grips, and after shooting them at the range with the XDS, I should have put these on a couple of months ago. The Talon grips got its start in 2009. There was a law enforcement officer that was also a competitive shooter that had cut out some grips, just like skateboard tape type grips, for his gun, and some of the other guys on the department just loved them. So he started cutting them out, made a template, and then it just went crazy, really. I know Hickok actually reviewed or talked about these grips back in about 2009, toward the late part of it. I saw the review. I ordered some off of eBay, ordered 2 or 3 pair, and then did a review on it. And I just love these grips. I put them on so many different guns. And then Talon Grips actually got in touch with me and said, hey, if you ever need grips, we really appreciate you just mentioning us. And so whenever I need something new, they'll send it out. And they're just great to deal with. And I'm really glad to kind of, talk about these grips because I just love them. These are all made in the USA. They're laser cut, so it's very precision. I mean, everything is done to strict detail. I think now they have over 200 different products including a lot of different guns, phone cases, and a lot of other things. Now, one of the things about these grips, they're only about a half of a millimeter thick. In fact, they're 0.5 millimeters in thickness, so it's not much material to add to your grip, and yet, you know, it gives it that really soft feel. I really like the rubberized granulate over the skateboard type. Of course, now with the different color, and I'm sure there'll be others to come. Now, the grips originally were tucked under from one grip to the other. It just tucked, and it made a little bit of a ridge here, and so they've changed it to where it just meets together. I guess really when I was doing these, I probably should have lined it up a little better. There's just a small little gap here. I shot quite a few rounds this afternoon, and you know, with no problem. Guys, I've had a lot of these grips now for a good while, and I've never had any problems. Anything that I've ever had where it may have been peeling up just a little bit, I think I had a Glock 42 that had a little bit of peeling. I took my heat gun, applied it, put it back down, and I haven't had any trouble since. And of course, these are disposable. I mean, these are made actually to take off, and they're easy to take off when you're ready. But you know, I haven't had to take any off, so there's instructions actually with the Talon Grip website. But this material is made to adhere to polymer, so it's going to really stick, and it's going to be a good fit. And when I brought out my Glock before, I mean, you lay that out there, it's not something that kind of sticks out. It looks like it's just made to the pistol, and a lot of that has to do with the laser cuts because they're so precise. So check out Talon grips. I think you'll find these are really excellent type grips. They have a great story behind them, and it's just one of those American success stories of a guy, you know, starting out small and then just building because he's making good quality products. And I love those kind of stories. And one last thing that I want to mention, because I want you to understand that I talk about Talon grips because I really love them. They don't pay me to do this. Yeah, they send me some grips once in a while, but if the grips really weren't that good, I wouldn't want the grips. Now you can go to TalonGunGrips.com. They have a ton of different type grips, even for your AR-15, your Tavor, or your AK-47. A lot of cool designs to really not just make it look cool and to make it customized, but it's definitely very functional with that feel to it. Gives you a little more confidence and helps you to get on target better. Talon's a great name for a company that does gun accessories. The way these grips feel, I think they should have named it Tweety Bird. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. And so I was loving, but because of the rise of popularity in the FD frames, now Talon Grips started in 1990. No, Talon Grips. I'm a big fan of Talon Grips on my pistols. Oops.